Good morning, class. How's everybody doing today?
Good. So good.
Awesome. So, as you guys know, this is our last lesson on the muscular system. So we are going to be taking our unit test today. It's going to be on Kahoot, so it's going to be really fun. So for today, we will be having our pre-test, which you'll be filling out after this. We'll be having a discussion, so I'll be asking you guys some questions, asking you guys what you think about it. I'm going to give you some quick facts about exercising, especially for kids your age, and then we're going to be going over different types of exercise, building an exercise program. We're going to take up our pretest and then move into our unit review. Okay, so if you guys can start on your pretest, you can go ahead and flip it over, fill it out, take a couple minutes, and just let me know when you're done. Give me a thumbs up. Give you guys about 15 more seconds. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to jump right into our lesson today. We're going to start with our discussion about exercise. So the first question that I have for you guys is, why is exercise important and how does it benefit our bodies and minds? Yes, Brendan?
It gets your endorphins going, so it wakes you up and a lot of people think clearly.
Yeah, very good answer. Yeah, anybody else have any other ideas? Yes, Riley?
Exercise enables day-to-day life activities like walking up and down the stairs easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so would you say that exercising frequently helps you throughout life, maintaining those activities?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes, Jonathan?
It relieves the stress from the joints, so you can be like kind of like more flexible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you're exercising, it helps our bodies stay active, helps our minds be clear, and we're going to talk about a lot of other concepts about exercise throughout the lesson. And then my second question is, why is it sometimes difficult for people to stay fit? Yes, Brendan?
Laziness.
Yeah. That's part of it. Anybody else have any other ideas? Yes, Jonathan?
It requires you to do it every day and to maintain it.
Yeah, so if I'm understanding, you have to be consistent with it,
Yeah.
right? Not just like once in a while. Yeah, that's a really good answer. Anybody else? Yes, Nathan?
Some people would rather, I feel like, sit on the couch and watch TV, especially nowadays
Mm-hmm.
with the electronics we have,
Mm-hmm.
than go outside and exercise or go to the gym and exercise.
Yeah, definitely. Very good answer. Yeah, so instead of using technology to their advantage and using it to get better and get more active, they're using it to just stay at home, stay inside, stay on the couch. And as Brendan said, be lazy. Another idea that I had was maybe they don't come from a family that's necessarily active, or they don't have friends that are active, so their environment really affects, you know, their decisions and their health choices. Okay, and come up with some examples of what people can do to stay fit. So it doesn't have to be exercise necessarily. Yeah.
Just like walking around, like you can like circling around your house for like 2 minutes. That is a good way.
Yeah, staying on your feet throughout the day, even going for a small walk, anything helps really. Yeah, very good answer. Yeah, Nathan?
Maybe like joining like a recreational like sports team.
Mhm.
So you can stay active.
Yeah, so having something that you're interested in and sticking with it even after you're done maybe competing. Maybe now you're just doing it for fun, finding exercise for enjoyment. That's a really good answer. Okay, so we're going to move on with the lesson today. So some quick facts that I have. So the CDC recommends that children ages 6 to adolescents age 17 should be getting 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day, and at least in America, less than a quarter of everyone this age reach this standard, so less than 25%. So obviously it's a big problem. People are not exercising as much as they used to, which obviously contributes to a lot of issues that we see today: obesity, laziness, stuff like that. So for reaching this standard, you want to be including aerobic exercise, which we'll talk about later, which should be included 3 days per week, and then your muscle strengthening should be included also at least 3 days a week. Students who are physically active tend to have better cognitive performance and grades. So when you exercise, can't remember who mentioned it, but it relieves stress, it makes you feel kind of clear in your mind, so you're able to go to class, you're able to do your homework, you feel better, you retain information better, and obviously that contributes to better outcome on your tests and assignments. Okay, so strength training is also called resistance training. So we can use two different things for strength training. We can use free weights, which includes resistance bands, body weights, barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, all that kind of stuff. So if you're in maybe a commercial gym, you'll see that big, long wall of dumbbells, small weights, big weights. So you have the freedom to pick whichever weight you want, depending on your skill level and your abilities. And then weight machines are also typically found in commercial gyms. They do make it easier to maintain good form, just because they are a little bit more assistive. You're not just lifting the weight on your own. It kind of guides you throughout the movement, so you have a little bit more of an idea of what your form is going to look like. And then there are two different types of strength training. We have muscular strength and muscular endurance. So for someone who wants to build that muscular strength, they're going to be doing 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps. So say I was going to go to the gym and do some bicep curls. If I wanted to get my biceps probably really big, maybe that's what I would do. Maybe I would do a really heavy weight on the dumbbells, and I would do maybe 6 to 8 reps of those. However, if I wanted to build more endurance in my arms, so say I work a job where I'm lifting things all day, maybe I'd want to go to the gym and do 2 to 3 sets of maybe 15 bicep curls, as heavy as I can go, and that's going to build the endurance in my arms. I'm going to be able to go to work, lift things a lot easier for a longer period of time. And now, benefits of strength training. So they do improve overall fitness, of course, increase lean body mass, so more muscle, less fat. They burn more calories, increase bone strength and health, and also improve mental health as well. And how many days of strength training should we be getting? Yes, Riley.
3 to 5?
Yeah, I would say that's a good amount. So slide before that I had 3, but if you want to do more, if it's something that you really like, I would definitely suggest maybe 5 days a week, but definitely leaving room for rest days as well. So endurance training, also known as aerobic exercise. That word aerobic we've talked about before. So walking, jogging, swimming, biking, and jump rope. Those are all different types of endurance training. So they're going to increase your breathing and your heart rate. And then 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week will help reach the recommended amount of moderate to vigorous physical activity. But if you want to go a little bit longer, maybe 45 minutes for 3 days or an hour for 3 days, that'll help meet the recommendations for that as well. Okay, the benefits of endurance training. So this is going to increase your health of your lungs, your heart, and the circulatory system. So as we're exercising, the blood is going to be flowing throughout our bodies. It's going to help, again, the blood flow, the heartbeat. It's going to strengthen our heart. Obviously, very, very good for you. It improves overall fitness and reduces the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Then lastly, we have stretching, and also known as some flexibility training. So for stretching, it should be included with both strength and endurance training. So before and after exercise, this might be static stretching, this might be dynamic stretching. Does anyone know the difference between static and dynamic stretching? Yes, Ellen?
Dynamic, like moving, static, you're holding the position.
Yeah, exactly. So dynamic stretching, you might be walking in a line as you're doing your exercises, moving along, but static, you're just going to be in place, holding it there. And the warm-up should be roughly 5 to 10 minutes. So you want to be preparing your body for exercise. I also said warm-up should be relative to the exercise that will be performed. So if you're going to go run, maybe your warm-up does consist of some dynamic stretching, but maybe you also jog for a couple minutes beforehand, getting your muscles as well as your lungs and your heart warmed up and ready to go and run. So for the warm-up, it's going to increase our muscle temperature. So if we're exercising in a cold environment, we don't want to just jump into exercise because that's really bad for our muscles. They're going to be really cold and very tense. So we want to loosen them up. So when we jump into exercise, they're ready to go, less risk of injury. It's also going to boost the amount of blood and oxygen delivered to the muscles. So again, increasing the blood flow throughout our bodies. It's going to improve flexibility and also improve joint range of motion. I believe Jonathan mentioned that in our discussion earlier. But yeah, so why do we want to be flexible? Especially younger in life. Anybody have any guesses? Riley, you look like you're thinking.
Being flexible can help improve stretching.
Yeah, so it will make it easier for us to stretch. But I also think being flexible is really beneficial just because when you get older in life, you obviously won't be able to move around like you used to, but if your body is more flexible, then you'll probably have an easier time with any activities of daily living, walking up the stairs, picking stuff up, stuff like that. Okay, so our cool down should also be 5 to 10 minutes of movement and stretching. This is going to help our body recover from the exercise. So if you finish a workout, your muscles are going to be really sore from being worked really hard. We want to still keep them kind of moving, kind of stretching. just so that we're reducing that risk of injury. It's going to slow down our breathing and heart rate, especially if we've been doing some endurance training. It's going to reduce any feelings of dizziness or lightheadedness. Again, if you've been really exerting yourself, we want to bring that down a little bit before we completely stop the exercise. And it helps us to relax and feel the benefits from the exercise. So for stretching properly, we're going to pull back. If it hurts, you don't want to be pulling too much. That's going to really strain the muscles. We're going to hold it for 10 to 30 seconds. So just going like this isn't really going to do much. It's not really going to stretch the muscles that much, so we want to make sure we're holding it. And if we're dynamic stretching, we want to just do multiple repetitions of that stretch. We don't want to just do it maybe once or twice. Remember to breathe throughout the stretch. This will help relax our muscles and stretch both sides. So even if you're more flexible on one side than the other, you also want to make sure we're getting a good balance of the stretching. And then we're going to stretch regularly, so at least 3 days a week. But again, if you're going to be doing strength or endurance training, you want to be stretching before and after. And I know stretching is sometimes hard to do because personally, I don't really stretch before I exercise, which is not the best, and I know I definitely feel it afterwards. So it's definitely something that should be prioritized. Okay, so building an exercise program. So you have the full control of building your exercise program. So it can be completely based off of your abilities and your interests. So say you're trying to get some endurance training in and you hate running. I hate running. But what I do like is doing those like kind of soul cycle classes, those biking classes. So maybe I'll sign up for those instead of going for runs 3 times a week. So it's really important to include a balance of all 3 types of training. So that will be strength, endurance, and stretching. It should meet or exceed the CDC's recommended amount of physical activity per day or per week. You want to make sure you're exercising safely and also getting adequate rest between exercise. So safely meaning we're not trying to overexert ourselves. We're not trying to lift too much weight because then we'll injure ourselves. And then also we're not completely exercising every single day, really exerting ourselves throughout each exercise. That's also going to put a lot of strain on our muscles and increase the risk of injury. Okay, so we're going to be jumping into our Kahoot. So if you guys can pull out your phones or computers. Awesome. Okay. All ready. Okay, so which of these is not a type of muscle tissue? This is from lesson 1. Very nice. So aerobic is not a type of muscle tissue. It is smooth, cardiac, and skeletal. What are the individual muscle fibers wrapped in? So that would be that little guy.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is the endomysium. So that is the end of the muscles. Okay, where can you find cardiac muscle? Yeah, exactly. In the heart. That is the only place that cardiac muscle is. See, atrophy is an increase in muscle size. Yeah. So atrophy is a decrease in muscle size, hypertrophy would be an increase. Which is not a type of muscle contraction. Yeah, so I completely made up isocontractic. Isotonic,
That's great.
isometric, and isokinetic are all
That's
muscle
sneaky.
contractions.
That's sneaky.
Which contraction lengthens the muscles?
Oh,
Yeah, so that is our eccentric contraction. Concentric is going to shorten, isometric is going to hold it, and isokinetic is a controlled contraction. Which muscle is the barbell in the photo primarily resting on?
wait, dang it. Hold on. I'm confident.
Yeah, so that's our trapezius. The latissimus dorsi is down here, deltoid is over here, and sternocleidomastoids are in neck. Okay, which muscle is the largest muscle in the body?
Wait. No! No!
Yeah, so the gluteus maximus is the largest. I know the latissimus dorsi looks really big, but it is actually our gluteus maximus. Okay, the sartorius is the longest muscle in the body. Yep. So
No.
that's true. That is the muscle in our leg that runs from our hip all the way down to the back of our knee. Super long. Mhm. Okay, the biceps femoris is part of which muscle group?
What? No! No!
Yes, so that is our hamstring muscle. So that is the main muscle in the back. The rectus femoris is our muscle on our quadriceps. And then the biceps is this muscle right here, the biceps brachii.
No.
You said, bicep, femoris.
Mhm.
And you said that was quadriceps?
Hamstrings.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Okay. The CDC recommends that adolescents get how much moderate to vigorous physical activity per day? Yep, 60 minutes. Very good job.
Teacher, I came in last place.
There's one more question.
Oh.
Warming up or cooling down should last at least how long pre and post exercise? Yep, 5 to 10 minutes. If you would like to do it longer, so that's why I said it should last at least how long. But yeah, so 5 to 10 minutes.
Hoop-de-doop. Wait, whoa, that's what I chose for my character avatar.
Yeah,
Awesome. Very good job today, guys. You guys are free to go, and the unit test for muscular system will be tomorrow.